As much as it is important to shift to a healthy, nutritious diet, there's no denying the fact that eating healthy can be heavy on your pocket. Whole foods, fresh pesticide-free veggies and fruits, and raw ingredients like spices needed to cook food can all be very expensive. So, does that mean you have to forego your dream of living healthily? Certainly no. There are some clever hacks to eat healthy, even while you're living on a tight budget, and we are going to discuss these in today's video. Let's get started. 1. Seasonal fruits and vegetables. Mangoes. Yum! Apricots and strawberries are even better. Well, we all have our favorite fruits and vegetables. If given the choice, we would love to just stick to those foods. But so many of them are not always available throughout the season. Seasonal fruits and vegetables need to be eaten in their respective seasons. If you insist on purchasing foods not typically available during certain months, you end up paying more money than usual. Also, eating fruits and vegetables in their respective seasons means you are getting them fresh. They would also not have to be brought from far away. Eating them off-season means you are more likely to get food with preservatives added to it. So, stick to fresh in-season produce and save up some cash while sticking to your budget. 2. Generic products. There's a tendency to always reach for branded products when we are at the grocery store. This is mostly because we believe they have better quality and would have been prepared to the highest standards. But it is possible for generic brands to have the same quality. They have to go through the same regulatory processes, rules, and regulations that branded ones do. The only real difference between the two is that name brands have the budget to spend on marketing. This is why you would have heard of the brand names. It is also the reason why they are costlier, because the marketing budget is priced into the retail price. Generic brands are a lot less expensive. Switching to generic brands at your grocery store will save a lot of money on your budget. Looking for answers on all the latest health and wellness news? Hit that subscribe button and join our millions of followers. Stay up to date on all our great bestie content. 3. Plan your meals. One way to save money on food and still eat healthily is by making meal plans and sticking to them. On one day of the week, plan your meals for the next 7 days. Make a list of all the groceries you need for preparing the meals according to the plan. Before heading out to the grocery store, you should also check your pantry and fridge. You may already have some ingredients available that you need. In such cases, you can strike them off your list. Also, make sure there are no foods in your fridge that are close to expiration. If there are, you may want to include them in your meal plan so that they don't go to waste. At the grocery store, only buy those products that you need for the meal plan. If you buy something else, you may end up wasting it and throwing it away. 4. Cook at home. You should also avoid eating out at restaurants. This extends to buying fast food or packaged foods too. If you compare, you will see that cooking at home is a lot less expensive than dining out. You might think that you're paying for a full meal, which should typically be cheaper at a restaurant. But whatever you pay at the restaurant would include not only the ingredients, but also overhead expenses such as salaries and rentals. Buying the ingredients and making the same meal doesn't have those overheads. Another advantage of cooking at home is that you will have complete control. You can be sure of the hygiene and quality of the products used. You can also decide what ingredients will go into the dish. Cooking at home means you also get to cut down on the amount of salt and sugar used in preparing the dishes. This keeps you healthy and reduces the chances of high blood pressure and diabetes, which are typically associated with people who eat out regularly. 5. Focus more on plant-based protein. If you prefer meat in most of your meals, consider substituting some of them with plant-based protein. This does not mean you need to go completely meat-free, but swapping meat for plant-based foods for some of your meals can save a good part of your budget. There are many cheaper options in plant-based foods, such as lentils, tofu, and beans, among others. At the same time, they give you the same protein that you get from meat and fish. Another advantage of plant-based foods is that you can add them to recipes that go in casseroles. They are also widely used in soups and salads. Stir-fries are also popular with plant-based foods. If you can skip meat for a few meals in the week, you can save money on your budget. Substituting them with plant-based foods will make sure you don't compromise your health. Interested in trying a high-protein diet? You can watch this video on 24 high-protein foods that you should eat regularly. 6. Look for deals and coupons. Grocery stores generally offer discounts or weekly deals. Stay on the lookout for such discounts and coupons. Usually, they're advertised at the store itself or in your local newspapers. Coupons and deals help you save a lot of money while still letting you purchase healthy food. Some online retailers also offer such coupons. You can look for them and purchase your groceries there for a discount. If there are certain staple foods that you use regularly, look out for sales on those products. Foods that have a long shelf life would particularly benefit from being bought in bulk. You would save a lot of money, eat your favorite dishes, and not have to throw anything away. 7. Avoid grocery shopping when hungry. One of the cardinal rules of grocery shopping is to avoid doing it while you are hungry. Although you may have a grocery list with you, the hunger pangs will make you want to stray from your plan. You would buy things impulsively, which would put a hole in your budget. Hunger also makes you reach for processed food. Since they're nearly always ready to eat, your brain automatically goes to them to satisfy your hunger. But while your hunger may be satisfied, you would get very little nutritional benefit. If you are hungry but can't avoid grocery shopping, take a piece of fruit with you. You can have other things, such as yogurt, to satisfy your hunger. This would help you save money and stay on track with your grocery list. 8. Frozen produce. Another money-saving option is to purchase frozen fruits and vegetables. This is especially true for people who have difficulty using all the produce before it goes bad. Buying frozen produce gives it a longer shelf life. Frozen fruits have the same nutritional value as fresh produce. They have the added advantage of cutting down on food waste. Additionally, you could also make smoothies using frozen fruits and vegetables. 9. Food storage. One of the reasons you might have to throw away food is that you've not stored it properly. This has caused the food products to go bad. You're literally throwing money away because you have not taken proper care when storing it. Ingredients such as pasta and cereal are shelf-stable. So all you have to do is find airtight containers to store them in. Once you sort that out and place them in a cool, dry place, you won't have to worry too much about these ingredients going bad. In the case of produce, line the drawers you store them in with paper towels. This helps absorb the moisture from the produce. As a result, your fruit and vegetables would last longer and not go bad as quickly. Dairy products should always be stored in the main part of the fridge, rather than the door. When you open the door, the dairy products get exposed to room temperature and might spoil quicker. The same is true with any leftover raw meat or poultry. Put them in the freezer so that they can last longer. You can use them for later meals. 10. Cheap cuts of meat are the way to go. Can you not live without getting your daily dose of meat? Don't worry, there's a way to eat healthy on a budget without having to sacrifice your love for a carnivorous diet. Though fresh meat and fish can be expensive, there are several cuts of meat that would cost you way less. You can opt for a whole chicken, ground meat, or chuck steak. Pork top sirloin steak is another great option that won't burn a hole in your pocket. These relatively affordable cuts of meat can be easily used in stews, soups, burritos, and casseroles. You can also buy a large, inexpensive cut of meat to use in various dishes you'll cook throughout the week. 11. Grow your own produce. Finally, the ultimate strategy to save some serious bucks. Either start growing your own produce or join a community garden. It isn't rocket science to grow your own herbs, sprouts, and veggies, like onions and tomatoes. All you need is to put in your time, effort, and very little investment in the form of inventory, like seeds and basic gardening equipment. Not just this, but homegrown fruits, veggies, and herbs will taste fresher and better than store-bought ones. You can also be sure that the produce was picked at peak ripeness and that only natural pesticides were used. This continuous supply at home will save you quite a lot of money at the store. Yay! Shifting to a healthy, balanced diet will eventually save you several bucks as you'll fall ill less often. Interested in knowing more about a well-balanced diet? Let's keep the conversation going with a couple more videos, shall we? Watch This Would Happen to Your Body If You Only Ate Fruits and Vegetables. You can also try our video on 16 Best Alkaline Foods You Must Have in Your Daily Diet. Go ahead and click on one. Or better yet, watch both and learn more about health and nutrition. Are you trying to eat healthy on a budget? Let us know in the comments below.